lot of the people who follow me have been asking me questions. I term them here as a commonly asked question to the sales warrior. So they've been asking me different questions that relate to sales. So I just thought this moment in these videos, I just answer some of these questions. So we're going to answer these questions in 3 segments. So they're going to be 3 different, shooting, but you follow me. So I'll just start with this one here. Somebody asked me, how did I end up being in sales? So this was a very good question. And I have to say that initially my interest was not to be a salesperson. Initially my interest was to be a banker. I wanted to do Bachelor's of Commerce and major in accounting and go and be a banker, a teller. But along the way, in my first year at university, when I was given business administration as a course, and I was looking for tuition here and there. So I went to the Entrepreneurship Center looking for a short job to do, and they gave me a job to sell the short courses, a certificate in bookkeeping, certificate in customer care, and they told me if I can be able to bring like 20 people, then they'll give me some of the monies that I can use for tuition. So what happened is they gave me 2 weeks to sell these courses, and they wanted 20 people per different course. And for me, I didn't bring 20. I brought 200 people for certificate in customer care. I brought 198 people for the certificate in bookkeeping in 2 weeks' time. So what did they do? They gave me the directories for different industries. Uganda Manufacturers Association, Private Sector Foundation Uganda, Uganda Entrepreneurs Network, Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Association. So I was able to have a huge database of different contacts to call. So I called as many people. Every day I was making like 120 phone calls. So after nailing that, after succeeding with that project, the director told me, I really, appreciate her so much, Diana and Tamu. I want to celebrate you in this video as well. She told me, Daniel, don't leave sales. Your career is in sales because you're really good at it. And that's how I majored in marketing in my business administration bachelor's. So when I majored in marketing now, I went on with it. I ended up working with Toyota Uganda. I ended up working with EduLink Education in Dar es Salaam. I worked with LiveLink Education Systems also in Dar es Salaam. So that's how my career in sales, just took off. So I hope this can be an inspiration for you. For me, it was really the zeal. And somehow I found out I was really good in sales because sales is conversation. And I'm very conversational. I'm very expressive. And that's why I was able to do very well in sales. So I hope that answers you. Medina, this is a question from Medina. So the next question comes from Anthony. Anthony is asking, was selling what I always wanted to do as a career? Yes, Anthony, I've already answered part of that. I just said that I wanted to be, a banker, but somehow, I found myself in sales. But I love sales now. I'm passionate about sales. But let me tell you something about selling. Everybody sells. All of us in one way or another we're in sales. Sales is not a career. Sales is not a profession. Sales is a lifestyle. Every single day you're a salesperson. So if your lifestyle is not helping you to sell your good qualities, then you need to improve your lifestyle. Because the clothes you buy, you're dressing the way you dress because you want somebody to like you, to appreciate you. Ladies, the hairstyle you put is because you want the world to appreciate you. Somebody said, wow, you have very nice hair. That's how you feel good. The clothes you put on, and it's very common with the ladies. The phone you have, wow, you have a nice one, and then you feel good. So life is a sale. So sales for me is a lifeblood of everything, be it relationship, be it professionalism, be it life, be it marriage, be it raising children. Sales plays a huge role in everything. So as much as I don't want to tell you that my interest was to be in sales at the beginning, Anthony, I want to say this. Sales is good for all of us. So I encourage you, one of the most important skills you will ever learn is a sales skill. The second important skill you can ever learn is public speaking skill. And lastly, be a good person in communications and you'll do well in life. So I hope I've answered you. I see a question here from Charity. What are some of the activities you did to make you become good in sales? Oh, this is a good question. What are some of the activities, the things you did to make you become good in sales? Oh, Charity, I did so many things. Let me just tell you the beginning. At the beginning, I just wanted to speak good English. So the first thing I did was to learn how to speak good English. And how did I do that? I bought English Companion. I bought a book that helped me to comprehend words, to use the right adjectives, to use the right nouns, to use comprehensions and paragraphs and phrases. So I had to first of all learn how to speak well. It was a big concern for me, and when I did that, I was able to express myself fully in English, and I went into reading other books in sales. And I bought, I remember I bought the Sales Bible by Jeffrey Gitomer. I read that book, and since then, just, books after books after books. So the more books in sales I read, the more I became technically savvy in the skills that sales people needed to have. I learned how to prospect. I learned how to sell on the phone. I learned how to go and meet a decision maker and make sense and be confident. So another thing that I needed to work on, that I worked on a lot, was my identity. I had self-esteem issues. So I needed to work on my identity. So I had to work on my confidence. Reading also helped a lot, and talking to relevant people who are more senior than me in different levels. My lecturers, people who are having businesses, my mentors that I chose in there, Patrick Bitature, Rogers Matama. So many of these guys, they helped me. They were my mentors. So they helped me to improve my identity. I started speaking good English. I started communicating properly. I started being knowledgeable about the areas of sales. I became a better public speaker. I attended a course in public speaking by Dr. Rogers Matama, and that just took me to the next level. I was able to express myself in front of people, and people said, "Wow, Daniel, that was a great talk," and that gave me the confidence to keep on going. So improve your identity. Which areas of your life are you struggling with? All of us have something we struggle with. Find it, work on it. Do not work on 3-4 things at the same time. Pick one area, work on it. If it is confidence, ask yourself, how do I lift my confidence up? If it is self-esteem issues, read some contents, talk to some people. How do you lift your esteem? If it is smartness, get a stylist, get a fashionista, so it can help you to dress up well. So you need to find all the areas of gaps that you need to work on, and work on them. And the more you work on those areas, the more your confidence shoots up, the more you're able to express yourself better in front of people. Because like I said, sales is conversation with people. It's a people-to-people conversation. People buy people. That's what Sharon said earlier in the video she showed about networking. And she's really right, I buy you first before I buy what you have to sell. So you have to work on your good qualities. So for me, those are the parameters that made me great in sales. Of course, along the way, I'm a very aggressive guy. When I want to do something, I get it done. I'm very ruthless, very self-disciplined. And my physical exercise regimen also helps me to be really disciplined. When Daniel wants to get something done, I'll do it. If I have to make 50 phone calls, I'll make them 50 phone calls. If I have to go and meet a certain person in a high office, you will turn me down 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. I'll still keep coming until I get a new way of how I can convince you to meet that person. So that's really the person I am. But I wouldn't say I was born this way. No, I learned it along the way. So you must have something, that self-drive inside of you to want to be great at what you do. A lot of you lack self-drive. Some people wake up at 10 a.m. I wake up at 4:30 every morning so I can read for 1.5 hours. Now that's an habit that I've built. In the earlier videos, we talked about the success routines. You need to put in your regimen, in your life, some success routines that helps you to be great. I was able to do that, and that's why today I'm recording this video as the Sales Warrior. I hope you're learning, because I want you to learn. Okay, another question here. This question is coming from William. What advice do I have for someone who just joined selling as a profession and they're struggling? William, this is a good one. What advice do I have for someone who just joined selling as a profession and they are struggling? I'm going to answer this question for you in 3 ways. In 3 ways. The first thing I'll tell you is learn the company, learn the product, learn everything that you're selling. It's very important that you learn everything about the company and love it. When you've learned it and you don't love it, stop. Sales is energy, is the right energy. When you feel good about something, you're able to sell it because you're going to talk about it in a very positive way. But if you don't love it, if you don't like it, then you'll be mechanizing it, you'll be struggling, faking until you make it. And people will get to see when you're faking it until you make it. So I want to say, know your product, know your company. This will improve the first thing, your conversation about what you're selling. Because at the end of the day, the conversation is what will get the other person enticed to appreciate you and like you. If I don't like the way you're having a conversation about something, I will have that kind of, reservations about you. So that's the first thing I'll tell you need to learn. The second thing is you need to prospect and build a huge pipeline. The initial stages of a salesperson's life, if you've just joined, I need you every day, make 50 phone calls, make 100 phone calls. The thing is, you want to do a lot of phone calls, you want to book a lot of appointments, you need to see many people. The more people you see, the more people will say no to you, the more you'll get experience to do the right thing. But if today you saw 2 people, tomorrow you saw 3 people, the next day you saw 2 people, another day you saw 3 people, then you're not building enough, numbers to help improve your skills. The more you have conversation with people, the more you learn how to have better conversations. You know what I mean? The more you make phone calls, the more you learn how to make better phone calls. There must be quantity to build quality. So have a mass number of quantity of activities that you do, that the more you do these quantity activities, the more it improves your competencies to start having quality phone calls, start having quality conversations with people. And the more people you meet, the more your confidence improves, because you're learning new ways of how you can talk to different personalities. That is important. So prospect as much as possible. Make a lot of phone calls. Go meet a lot of people. But like I said in the first one, also improve your mentality. Improve your mentality. Read. Read so much so that your mind is strong. You have the right words to say, and you come out naturally. You need to come out naturally. Lastly, practice like a madman. The more you practice, the more you get luckier. Practice, practice, practice. Somebody said practice makes perfect. It doesn't make perfect. Practice makes improvement. The more you do it, the more you improve. And life is continuous improvement. Every single day, we are striving to improve some areas of our lives. Of course, ultimately, we want to improve the size of our pocket, the size of our bank account. That's why sales people make quite a lot of money, because you're supposed to sell on commissions and then make quite a lot of money. That's all important. But practice. Do as much as possible every single day. Keep doing, keep doing, keep doing, keep doing. The more you do, the more you become an expert. Strive to be an expert in your field. Strive to be so good they cannot resist you. And that's the message here. So, last question that I have. We're going to be having a series of questions, like I said. So this is the first, segment. How do you lift your spirit up from a slump? How do you lift your spirit up when, things are not going right? This is a very good question. For me, the first thing you need to do is work on your physique. To lift yourself from a state of despondency, to lift yourself from a state of feeling terrible, feeling sorrowful, feeling life has defeated you. The first thing is physically be strong enough to deal with the emotional what? Pain that a slump gives you. So work on your physique. If you have to go to the gym and work hard. If you have to go on a road run, go on a road run and do your best. Like challenge your body, push your body to the limit. Physically, when you're strong, then you can start dealing with the intellectual cognitive problems, and you can also deal with the emotional problems. A lot of us cannot deal with the emotional and the mental problems because physically we are not capable. We are incapable at a physical level to do something at that level. So you get what I mean? So first of all, work on your physique. Then secondly, work on your mind. Have different coping mechanisms, and that is in between pages of books or talking to some people that you look up to. For me, there's a gentleman called Amos Wekesa, there's a gentleman called Rogers Matama, there's a gentleman called Patrick Bidature, there are a few people, there's a lady called Kristen Chayonga Bonyo, there's Samuel Bakutana, there is so many of my friends, Lawrence Namale, Ambrose Chibuka. So I have these kind of support networks around me. People that, there's Sharon Tumushabe here as well, my very good friend, she's part of these videos that we're shooting. So I talk to people, they give me ideas. They give me coping mechanisms that make me deal with the situations at the time. So you need to have different coping mechanisms. You can talk to people, you can read a book. But also another thing, do some things that make you feel good about yourself. Watch comedy. Start with something simple like that. Watch comedy and laugh away. There's so many comedy shows on YouTube. Just go to Kevin Hart and check it out. You probably go to Salvador, Patrick Derengi, check it out. Comedy Stores, check it out. Check these guys. What's his name? This South African black white guy. Okay, he likes saying that. Noah? He's called Noah. Trevor Noah. These are comedians that brightens your mood. You need to feel good so you can have perspective about the situations you're going through. And then do the work. If there's certain things that you need to get done, do the work. Do not just say, now I feel good, now what? Do the work. A lot of you guys start complaining and bitching about life and begging for help. Do the work. If you have to make phone calls, make them calls. If you have got to go and meet people in appointments, set those appointments and go do them. If you've got to write a proposal, get it done. If you have got to sit with your CEO and discuss ways of how you can be able to raise your level of performance, do it. Do the work. When all this is done, you should be all right. You should do right. So that is the first segment of the questions. I'm going to be sharing with you again some other 5 questions that people have been asking me, and then we'll go on like that. So be blessed. Go out there and sell now.